Hello out there, super moms. This is for Leslie's blog. She actually came to me and asked me if I would do some kind of step-by-step mommy makeup tutorial for those of you out there who have your hands full raising your families and running around and basically putting everybody except for yourselves out there first. So here it is. What I'm going to do today is take you from a daytime look to a nighttime look using very minimal products. And I would say that the best thing you could do for yourselves is get brushes. Your tools are the very most important things. It doesn't really matter if you get a high-end foundation or a low-end foundation or an expensive concealer or whatever. It's whatever fits your budget is going to work best for you. But I think if you're going to splurge anywhere or if you're going to need anything in particular to achieve your daytime and your nighttime look, it's going to be in your brushes. All you need is 3. You don't need any more than these brushes. You need something for your face. You can do your powder and you can do your blush. You're going to need an eyeshadow brush like this. And these brushes are from MAC and from Crown Brush. You can go to either one of those and pick them up. So you're going to need something fluffy just like this so that you can do that eyeshadow and then the little swirling technique that we'll be using, the blending. And also you're going to need an angle brush. And this is mostly to fill in your eyebrows or to fill in liner on your eyes, anything like that. So as long as you've got these 3 brushes, everything else is kind of extra. I guess another good thing I should point out too is to have a really good eyelash curler. If your eyelash curler is pinching at your eyes or it's super old, you don't remember when you bought it, it's really, really important that you go out and just buy one. It can be Revlon, it can be Shumera's really expensive one, and they all work fine. Just make sure that your curler has like a little cushion right here and that when you do use it, you're using it safely, which we will go over. So sit back for a few minutes here and enjoy as I show you some steps. Okay, so the first step in getting your mom mojo back is to add concealer to the face. So we're going to start with a concealer. Let me see. There are many different kinds of concealers. I would say since mom is basically synonymous with no sleep, that you should go with something that's full coverage. If you do have dry skin, you want to go with something that's a little bit more liquidy like this one. If you have oily skin or normal skin, I would suggest something like this that's a little more full coverage. So we'll go ahead and start with the full coverage. What you want to do is just dab your finger into the product and grab a mirror and don't pull at all. Go ahead and just dab all of that right onto the skin underneath your eye. Then you want to go in here. Most people forget about the inner corner, but as you can even see, I'm really, really dark in here. So that concealer is going to help cover all of that up. Many of the women I know also have broken capillaries and loose veins showing up on their eyelids, so you want to definitely cover that up as well with the concealer. You can see a difference there, how this one's just nice and smooth, and then we've got lots of darkness still here. So I'll go ahead and finish up the other eye. Now something else that concealer is great for is if you have any kind of redness or any acne, anything that you want covered up, you can just go ahead and dab it in. I like to use concealer with my fingers because it warms up the liquid or the cream, and then you can just warm it into your skin and pat it in without pulling. So here we do already have the concealer on. Anytime that you wear a foundation or a concealer, you definitely need to put something powdery on top so that it will set and it won't move. In this instance, I always recommend Studio Fix powder because it's actually a foundation and a powder in one. So moms can skip that step. Mine's a little bit low, but it normally comes with a tray underneath with a sponge. So what you can do is either use a blush brush or you can use a sponge to dab the product on all over where you've already put your foundation and or your concealer. This will make sure that no matter how many babies you're changing diapers for or how many gym classes you're dropping kids off for, everything stays put. And that's it. That's done. Next step is blush. You want to pick something that's kind of a little for every day. I would suggest something a little rosy, goes for everybody. You can go from something ranging like a light pink, depending on your skin tone, to something that's a little bit deeper hued like this one. I'm actually just going to mix those two together. And you want to warm up the apples of your cheeks with the same brush that you used to put your powder on. You want to smile and get that apple really good and then pull up so that you don't look so tired and drag it down. So you want to go ahead and do the same here. Again, this is real easy. I'm doing this in really real time, so it's doesn't take too long. All right, so now you look like you're alive. Get pretty tedious. So for every day for moms, I just suggest using something that's a little bit closer to your skin tone and just sweep it all over the eyelid. In this case, we're gonna use a flat, fluffy brush, and I'm gonna go ahead and dip it into Sin, which is the second one in the Naked palette. And you just wanna go all over. Make sure you get that inner corner because that's going to give you some light and it'll make you look a little more alert. You already put on your concealer, so that acted as a primer for your eyeshadows. Now your eyeshadow will stay on nice and smooth all day. Next step is going to be to choose an eye pencil. Now you can do something more brown or you can do something more gray/black depending on the colors of your skin and how dark you want to go. So for today's purposes, I'll go ahead and use this brown liner. And what you want to do is just line like normal all the way across. What helps me is looking down when doing your liner. It's always great and helpful to look down and relax the eyelid and then just gently graze the pencil over your lid instead of pulling on your eyelid, because that's just going to cause wrinkles. And there you go. Very simple. Now what you can also do is pull the liner in here into your waterline just to give you a little depth. Okay, so next step's going to be curling those eyelashes. You want to hold your curler wide open, fit all of your lashes in at the very base and squeeze once at the very base. You can lift your elbow up and that will force you to move your arm up, and that's when you get that curl. And when you take it out, you'll see that it will work on the first try. And that's it. You don't have to sit here crimping and pulling your lash out. Just want to make sure that it's wide open, fit all your lashes in, squeeze once, lift the elbow, release. You're done. Mascara is always a tricky thing for moms on the run because they don't really have time to sit there and make sure every single lash gets applied with the right amount of mascara. So what I suggest doing is getting a swivel mirror or even a handheld mirror, hold it down, look into it so that your eye is relaxed, and then you're going to start at the base, wiggling up. That's going to get the most amount of mascara on in the quickest amount of time, and then you can kind of go back in and pull at the ones that you've missed. But it's like hairspray for your lashes. It keeps them up. And for the lips, this is the easiest part. I recommend getting some kind of lip conditioner that also has a little bit of color in it. Like, for example, Fresh has some really great ones called Sugar Honey. This one's a honey color. This one's a plum color. So this way it's a 2-in-1, and when you kiss your kids, you're not worrying about getting all these like toxic lipstick colors on them. It's just kind of a sheer gloss. And it makes you look like you've got some color. Now let's talk about turning this look into a night look. Turning a mommy's day look into a night look, it's pretty easy, and it mostly has to do with changing your lip color and going with stronger eyes. So let's start with the eyes. You're going to pick that brush back up, and instead of going with something lighter, which you already have on your lid, you're going to go with something a little bit smokier in the crease of your eye, which is right here where that brow bone is. So what I'm going to use today is more of a darker color. We'll go ahead and use Hustle from the Naked palette. You're going to dip your brush into it once, flick off the excess, feel for that brow bone, and fill in right in there with the color. And this is just going to accentuate the shadowing around your eyes and bring them out a little better. Now you can get a teensy bit of a black or a gunmetal gray color and then really go in the outer corners of your eyes. Just dab the color in and pat it, and then you can start blending it as best you can. This is my favorite part. You want to take a black pencil or a dark brown, depending on how fair you are, and line your inner rim, which I've already done here. That's going to create more of a smoky effect, and that'll instantly give you nighttime, daytime eyes. What I'm doing here is just going in with the pencil just underneath the lash line about halfway. And that'll just kind of intensify the look I'm talking about. Next, you want to take an angle brush, dip it into a dark brown or a black eyeshadow, and intensify the pencil that you drew on underneath with that. And bring it all the way across. Next step is going with a darker, stronger eyeliner. So I've picked black for myself. You can use cream or liquid. And then what you want to do is line the top of your eyes with it. Right over the pencil. Now all that's left is lips. It's nice to go with a lipstick, something that will stay on all night. You can go ahead and swipe that right over your lip balm that you've been using all day. Just like that. And then of course a high shine gloss. And voila, you've gone from Taxi Cab Mom to Nighttime Vixen. Hope you enjoy these. If you'd like to check out other tutorials, hit me up on YouTube.